Welcome in, everybody. It is October 10th, 2025. It's episode 4 of Tour of Japan on Bodyslam.net. We're back we're a month in now to Tour of Japan. I'm Max Dinenberg, joined by Blackhawk, as always, on this Friday evening. As always, we got another pretty big show here ahead of us today on this podcast. We're going to break down two pretty big shows coming up for Noah and New Japan. Again, you're following us like we are for Japanese wrestling. All of these companies kind of go in lulls, when they're on, when they're not. So we just kind of go by the companies. If you're new to Tour of Japan, welcome. We cover all things Japanese pro wrestling, mainly Stardom, New Japan, Noah, and Marigold. But we cover as many big Japanese wrestling topics as possible, because who doesn't love some Japanese pro wrestling? If you're joining us on Bodyslam.net, please welcome to our YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like button. If you're on Twitter right now, or X as they call it, please retweet, share the video with other people to join us. If you're on Twitch, also join us. And also, please comment. We've had amazing commenters in our first 3 weeks on the show. It makes the show flow a lot better, helps the energy continue. We love hearing from you guys as well. So again, please comment, ask any questions you guys have. We will answer them if they're Japanese wrestling related or not. But I'm Max Dinenberg. This is Blackhawk. Blackhawk, how was your Friday going here today?
It's pretty good. I'm pretty excited for this weekend. I don't have to work this weekend, so there's a lot of wrestling going on in the world.
That's right.
A lot to watch, a lot of exciting matches. So I'm very happy that the work week is over and we can get into some professional wrestling, Japanese and not.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about Crown Jewel towards the end of this video to promote that for tomorrow evening. But yeah, tons. And that's what this podcast is going to be about today. We're going to break down Noah's big shows this weekend. New Japan has King of Pro Wrestling on Monday, where pretty big match will be main eventing that show. So we're going to break down all things basically New Japan and Noah today. So again, if you're new to YouTube, subscribe, like the video, comment anywhere you're watching this. We'd love to hear from you guys. And without further ado, Blackhawk, we're going to start with some pro wrestling Noah. So talk about the show, give your general thoughts on it heading into this weekend.
So we got Wrestle Odyssey for Pro Wrestling Noah. It starts U.S. time, Central time, at least where I'm at midnight. So I guess you would need to translate that into your own time zone. I believe, Max, for you would be 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so everybody else moved back 1 or 11, 10 o'clock in California and all that.
Yeah.
We're looking like a pretty good show, especially the last half of the card. Really the last 2/3 of the card. We're really getting into it. But let's go ahead and start off. We have Junta Miyawaki versus Kai Fujimura in a singles match to open the show. Looks like it'll be a fun match. Not really too much behind it other than they just really wanted to wrestle each other. So you can't really fault them for that one. Then we have a tag match with All Rebellion and Rattel. I think is it Rattels?
Yeah, Rattels.
I hope I'm saying that right. They're having just a tag match. Then we'll go into Jack Morris and Ulka Sasakai versus Charlie Dempsey and Harlem Lewis, which is the WWE wrestlers that are being sent over to participate in Noah at this time. So very excited for that.
Together too.
Yeah. I think Ulka Sasakai and Charlie Dempsey will be a fantastic match for each other. Harlem Lewis, I really don't know anything about. I haven't watched Evolve. I know he's been on Evolve majority of the time.
I've watched every episode of Evolve. He's not a guy that like totally popped off, but Evolve's a weird show where the people at the top of the card are now like leaving the company for some reason now. Like
Yeah.
So who knows? I think they clearly trust him by sending him with Charlie Dempsey, working with Charlie Dempsey as well. Seems to be very planned out there on WWE's side.
Yeah. I hope he does well. It would be kind of bad if he just kind of blows it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they're trusting him to go with Charlie Dempsey, he definitely has something, he either has something that they can really work with in Noah, probably flesh out some new things for him, or he just really needs the reps and they're not going to get it. He's not going to get it on anywhere other than Evolve.
Yeah.
But moving on, we then have another tag team match with Takeshi Segura and Shun Skywalker with Ozawa. He will be their manager for that, as he does have a broken ankle, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he broke his ankle. And then they will face Tetsuya Endo and Hayata. So that one should be pretty good. And then we'll go into Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf versus Daga and Daki Otoshima for the junior heavyweight tag team titles. That one will be very, very, very interesting. I believe, if I understand this right, this is Daki Otoshima's first championship challenge. He's a rookie here, real young guy, real energetic, real small also, but looks like he's built like an ox. He's like 5'4", but built like an ox. So very interested to see how that goes for him. And then we get into the top of the card here. We have Kazuki Fujita versus Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited for. I am a huge Suzuki fan. I'm not Fujita. I've been off and on about.
Okay.
In the G1, I really enjoyed him, but before then, I was kind of like, yeah, and then maybe. And so I'm very interested to see how this goes. They're both, longtime vets. Both have a long history in professional wrestling, so I think this could be an incredible match. Then we go into Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kaito Kijiyama versus Nomuchi Marufuji and Kanoa. Just a special tag team match. That one's going to be super interesting. With Kanoa, I did say last week he was part of All Rebellion. That is wrong. Kanoa has left All Rebellion. I forgot about that, and I did confirm it with Noah does their roster chart. I did see on the roster chart that he is no longer in All Rebellion. So it is no longer, All Rebellion versus All Rebellion, but former leader of All Rebellion versus, I would assume, the current leader of All Rebellion in Kiyomiya.
Yeah.
So very, very interested in that. Himuro Tanahashi versus Ita for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. That one's going to be super fun. And then we got Kenta versus Masa Kitayama for the GHC Heavyweight Championship.
Boom.
So we're looking at a really good card.
Yeah, they do for Noah's show have a lot of notable guys. You obviously have the two NXT guys, but you also have a lot of New Japan legends on the show with Suzuki, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is Tana's final match if he is doing ever for Noah. So I like that. Hiromu getting on the card as always in the semi-main. Do you think we're getting a title change with Hiromu? Do you think he's staying in Noah for the time being? I mean, he's still doing New Japan mostly, but we're heading into Super Junior Tag League at the end of October here for New Japan. So what do you think?
I have a hope that he holds on to the belt.
Okay.
And then before Super Junior Tag League, we see a team form from Noah that goes to the tag league and challenges. That's my hope. I don't know who it would be right now. I would guess the front runner, one of the front runners is Ida.
Okay.
But who he would pair with, I have no idea. So that's my hope, is that Takahashi wins, and we see a little bit more Noah New Japan collaboration.
Yeah, I think it's really beneficial, especially for Noah, who
Yes, yeah, huge.
never had a lot of momentum, but they have had it in the last year with a lot of really smart partnerships for them. And it's been nice. I said partnerships. I mean, they're being allowed to show up on other people's shows as well.
Yes,
if that's NXT, if that's New Japan. So I'm excited for the card. Sounds great, especially the top half of this card. Can't remember the last time I've seen Minoru Suzuki wrestle. He definitely was in New Japan last year. And he's had multiple appearances when he was a New Japan wrestler for AEW, but just haven't seen him in a while. So I'm fascinated.
He's had a couple of spots here and there with a couple of random promotions. He's done some stuff with DDT as well.
Gotcha.
But the most memorable thing he's done this year was wrestle Butterbean with GCW, and probably the worst match of the year, which sucks. But yeah, it was not by any means Suzuki's fault. Butterbean, I'm proud of Butterbean for the progress he's made with his weight and everything, and getting back to walking. He was not ready to be back in any sort of fight at all. He's an old man now. He hasn't been in fighting shape in a long time. And I get like the appeal of all that, but yeah, that one was hard to watch.
So now you're not getting me as excited now because I haven't seen him wrestle in probably a year. Fascinated to hear that he's on this Noah show. So with the 2 title matches, you said you won Hiromu. Let's look at the main world title match. What are your thoughts there?
I really hope Masa Kitayama wins. And that's just me being a huge fan of Masa. I think there's a lot of potential, matchups we could see with Masa that we may or may not have already seen with Kenta.
Yeah.
And so Noah has a small roster, and only about half of it is in that heavyweight division. So only about half of it can challenge for this belt. And we really just haven't seen Masa hold a belt at all, really. And so I think him holding the belt and actually having to fight challengers and have like these long, good matches with him will be really interesting. And I think it'll be really good for Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah. Kenta is someone I feel like is a good passing of the torch champion at this point. Noah. He's not like a long-term guy when you have anyone with the title for 6 months or anything. Because he just bounces around all of the Japanese wrestling companies, DDT, and Noah. So I think we're gonna get I think we're gonna get 2 title changes. I think they're gonna end the show with 2 title changes. Hiromu going to Tag League. There's just no time for him to bounce on both shows at that point when he's focused on Tag League. That's a tour. I feel like it's a good chance. He held the title. He defended the title at a New Japan big show. I think it's time he loses the title. And I think Kenta loses the title as well. I think we're going to get 2 major title changes on the show, which I think is good for Noah. Because you have 2, I wouldn't say old guys or legends, but 2 very established guys putting over Noah talent. I think is the point of this. That's what I have. Do you have anything else on this Noah show?
I did think I saw it was streaming on YouTube as well, so you don't have to have Wrestle Universe, but I think you would have to get it through Abima, which is who has all of Pro Wrestling Noah's streaming rights.
Yeah. There's on YouTube.
I don't know if you have to pay for it. I couldn't figure that out. I was trying to translate it on my phone earlier when I saw it.
It looks like it's for free.
Yeah, it looks like it's for free on YouTube. So that's very exciting. So if you have, time during the weekend or the week, this whole show will be on YouTube for free. So I would suggest watching it. Yeah.
it's amazing. We just talked about this with Stardom, putting one of their shows on YouTube, and they have over 1 million subscribers. Noah's sitting at 155,000. Really good eyeballs for them on this show, especially. I think it's a good idea when you have named people on the show to make it available for wide audiences. I think it's a smart idea for Noah. Wrestle Odyssey, the press conference was even available on the live. So they are, shows in 5 hours from now. Obviously next week on this show, that'll be our main talking points, breaking down the show. Will there be 2 title changes? We'll see. You can currently check it out on Pro Wrestling Noah's YouTube channel at 1 a.m. Eastern time. But again, it'll be on demand. So anytime before Friday, if you want to join us to review the show, you have until Friday to watch it, and then we'll break it down a week from today. But final thoughts, Blackhawk, before we move on to New Japan here?
Watch the show. It's a final thought. Watch the show so we can talk about it next week.
Fantastic. Watch the show. We'll watch it. We'll break it down next week. So before we get to King of Pro Wrestling, New Japan had some, obviously, the tour, the road to King of Pro Wrestling. And I just want to say also, before we get into this, learned the term on Twitch saying, talking to you, Blackhawks. I just want to thank
what's up, term,
for supporting Blackhawk here. If anyone else wants to join us here in the chat, would also be awesome. We're going to break down New Japan King of Pro Wrestling in a second, give our predictions and stuff like that. So on this tour, Doki became the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, which we've had our fans. I think we have fans now, Blackhawk, of the Tour of Japan. Mentioning us when can't wait to hear what you guys say about Doki winning the New Japan IWGP, Junior Heavyweight title. I'm a Desperado guy. I think I'm done with Desperado and Doki being a feud at this point. I feel like we need some fresh junior heavyweights fighting for these titles. And not just are they done, are they not done, but tomorrow on the final tour episode of the Road to King of Pro Wrestling, we have Doki and Sho defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles against El Desperado and Kuakai, who I've never heard of until this tour. He's not a New Japan guy. He's friends with Desperado. I forget what company they said specifically he's from. But they're defending. So Doki is now a double champion, and more likely he's going to beat Desperado both times this week to do it. So that did happen this week. So tomorrow this tour has been very bland. It's been like the same matches in a row. So I'm kind of just ready for the show on Monday. So let's break down the show, Blackhawk, here for Monday's show. And it's a big show. King of Pro Wrestling for New Japan. Every match feels very important for the most part on this show. So let's break things down. The show is actually starting with a women's match, which is very rare for New Japan shows. The IWGP women's title will be on the line. Suri will defend against Shuri. Suri just spent 2 straight weeks on Ring of Honor television. She teamed with Alex Windsor to beat Billy Starks and Diamante. And then last night, taping-wise, she defeated Alex Windsor in a 15-minute match to retain her IWGP Women's World title. She is, and we broke this down last week in the tag match, but a very inventive wrestler, quick submission holds, very similar to Zack Sabre. She moves very quick into them. So I really like her. Shuri is obviously someone who I think is one of the best Japanese women currently working today. She got her when she was going to debut for Ring of Honor AEW. So I don't think she's going to win this match, but I think this is a really fun match on a New Japan show to start with. Really, they have the IWGP women's belt for a reason. If you're going to create a belt like that, it should be on these shows. And it feels like they've just been exclusive to Stardom outside of Wrestle Kingdom, where the last 2 years they've had those matches on Wrestle Kingdom. But really, other than that, they don't really put the IWGP women's title on New Japan TV. They usually just leave it to Stardom. But I think it feels like a New Japan belt, so it should be on these shows more. So what do you think about New Japan, Blackhawks, starting with the women's match here to start the show?
I think it's good. Noah also has a GHC Women's Championship, but they hardly ever feature it. So I would love to see them do the same thing. We've got two top talents in this first match for New Japan, which is going to be an incredible. They gave them 60 minutes. Like,
yeah,
I don't think they'll go all 60, but
no.
we'll get a like a probably a close to 5-star match out of this just out the gate.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
I'm excited. They'll follow up with a trios match. The end of LIJ, I guess. Titan, Hiromu. Look at Hiromu working all these shows. Titan, Hiromu, and Shingo taking on Bullet Club. War Dogs is Clark Connors, Taiji Ishimori, and Finley. Finley has been wrestling against these guys the whole tour. So we're just wrapping up there. The third match, Drilla Maloney versus Sonata. This is kind of continuing the feud where Sonata left Bullet Club War Dogs hit and really did it by hitting Drilla with the guitar. They have done the same tag match every match on this tour, which is Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors against Yujiro and why can't I think? And Sonata. Mm-hmm. And it's ended in a DQ or a count out. This is it doesn't say on the website. Drilla did say it's a street fight, so this will be a pretty extreme match. Also, don't see those on New Japan. I think Drilla needs this match. He's getting the big heavyweight push here. Then we get the return of Hiroki Goto on this show. He's in a trios match with Yoshihashi as tag team partner and Yo. They'll take on TMDK's Roya Hoya, Harley Jackson, and Kosei Fujita. Good way to get Goto back. Again, he got hurt when he lost the world title, or before he lost the world title to Zack Sabre, after he beat Zack Sabre to start the year. But again, good to see him back. He wasn't, again, a lot of people defended him as IWGP World Champion. I always liked Goto, but I think the direction we're going in now, I think it ended up working out. Then we get the first men's title match, on the show. Hiroshi Tanahashi fighting El Phantasmo for the TV title. Again, with the TV, it's a 15-minute time limit. They have had a lot of fun on this tour. The air guitar, then ELP's been doing the air drums on the tour. ELP is one of my favorite wrestlers in New Japan. Love him to death. Beat cancer at the beginning of this year as well. And he is back better than ever. Him and Tanahashi have great chemistry. I'm sure the match will be good, like 10 minutes probably, but I can't imagine ELP is dropping this title as Tanahashi is heading into really the final, because he's not going to be a part of the Junior Tag League, so really 2 months left for him in New Japan. Blackhawk. So it's going to be interesting. We move on to the never open weight title match. That's Boltin Oleg and Evil. I'm going to say God help us. I'll just say God help us. Because I feel an Evil win because they had Oleg already beat a House of Torture member. And in order to continue this feud, I fear Evil is going to win this title. Because and I like Evil's in-ring work, but there's going to be shenanigans. Oleg doesn't have friends. This is going to be a shenanigan fest where Dick Togo's going to hit the dick on him, and there's going to be a lot of, as always, the shenanigans that Moxley loves. Moxley, our friend Moxley just adores the group. But
surprised we haven't heard him chime in yet.
I know. Hey, we already talked about Doki, and we already talked about Evil. And then we have...
This time's over.
Then we have Oscar and Yuto Ice. They're defending the tag titles. Their first defense against Yuya and Shota. Don't think the titles are being changed here really quick to already take the belts off of Yuto Ice and Oscar. They've had some really good singles matches, though, against each other on this tour. So I'm excited for the match. But I don't, again, Yuya and Shota are not a full-time tag team at all. And I think they both need single stuff moving forward. So especially when we talk about who's going to win the main event on this show, then you kind of get the double main event. Gabe Kidd, Yota Tsuji for the global heavyweight title. Gabe is the one who took it off of Tsuji in the first place. So it would be very funny if Tsuji just won this back. I don't think he is. They are telling a story with Bullet Club where Gabe is the guy leading the group at this point and winning these big matches. Gabe, love him to death. He's my favorite performer in the world. he does not win these matches the majority of the time. So it would be nice to see Gabe get a win here. And if I were them, I would push Tsuji to the main event scene after this feud. He's kind of been hovering around the global heavyweight title for the whole year. So I think to start next year, I would have him around the world title. That's what I would do. So Gabe wins, gets a fresh feud, which is hopefully no more LIJ, just can start fresh with someone else, and get Tsuji into the main event picture. But what we really want to talk about is the main event, Zack Sabre, Takeshita for the world title. Takeshita has not been on this tour. He's been still wrestling for AEW. We have talked about this since we started the show. It does feel like a crowning moment for Konosuke Takeshita to win the IWGP world title. Again, he got this match because he won the G1. And just like Zack Sabre, he didn't want it for Wrestle Kingdom. He wanted it earlier than that so he can go into Wrestle Kingdom as champion. Zack kind of felt like a title holder after Goto got hurt. They kind of audible to give him the belt back. And I could not be more excited. A huge moment for Takeshita, who's been obviously a multiple-time champion in AEW at this point. He's going to be wrestling for the AEW tag titles next weekend at Wrestle Dream with Okada against Brodito. It would look very good if he is on that show with the IWGP World title. They lose the match, and you get the big stare down with Okada and Takeshita to set up a match for Full Gear or Wrestle Kingdom. But I know it's exciting, Blackhawk. Come on.
Yeah. This match has so many future implications on Konosuke Takeshita's side. With him working 3 companies, I don't think he's done much with DDT this year.
Not this year. Last year, he worked a lot of DDT.
Yeah. This year, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, he's contracted between all 3 companies.
Yep.
But him being able to take that belt, to AEW, to DDT, have it on New Japan, it's huge because that really just opens up the door to who can challenge for this belt.
Yeah.
And I think it'll lead to some incredible matches if he wins. I think we're about to just see some of the best wrestling we have seen from the IWGP. God, sorry.
No, you're good.
IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. Takeshita's interesting. They're making a lot of the story that he's not above New Japan, but he's not focused on New Japan. I think that's a good story, especially going into a potential Okada feud at this point. Man, I'm excited. They wrestled twice in the G1. Sabre beat him in general play in block action. Takeshita won in the semifinals over Sabre, which I thought was the much stronger match than their block action. But it's 1-1. The 2 matches were very good to great. Takeshita in New Japan is awesome. He gets to, you can tell sometimes he's like, oh, okay, I don't have to sell every, like he loves when you hit the big moves, don't sell, do the suplex, get up, and he does the big punches. And sometimes you can't get away with that on American television. So I think he always likes doing the solo outings in New Japan. I'm interested if he wins. What does he do now? Obviously, you have Junior Tag League. He won't be on that tour. So it kind of gives him another month where he can just focus on AEW. But, man, do you think if Takeshita wins and they do to my plan, which is they lose, obviously I don't think they're going to beat Brodito at Wrestle Dream. Yeah. Would Tony pull the trigger on a match like that for Full Gear, title for title, just for the Continental? Like, what do you do if you're Tony? Do you hold off and just give New Japan that match for? Again, we don't know the dynamic with Okada and New Japan since he's left. He's obviously has never appeared on the show. Not even a lot of these guys sometimes will do promos. Okada hasn't done anything for the company since he's left. So what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
I think there's a potential for a best of 3 series almost.
Ooh, with Okada you're talking about.
Yeah, with Okada. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could easily see Takeshita Okada at Full Gear for the Continental. Then potentially see, Takeshita and Okada at Wrestle Dream, or there's got to be one more show in between.
What is AEW? Do they have like an World's End, right?
Yeah, World's End, or even even that first match at World's End. And then I think there's potential for Wrestle Kingdom if everything is okay with Okada and New Japan. You could see him challenge Keshka for the IWGP, and then further down the road, I think we could see a title for title. If Takeshita is holding it for that, I think that's the best play.
Okay,
is a best of 3 series where they both retain their respective titles when they face off, and then they have a final showdown, and one person walks away with both belts.
Man. And I think Takeshita is going to win this feud with Okada.
I do too.
I think this is all built up for him to Okada to put over the next top Japanese superstar.
Yeah.
Very interested what they do with Zack after that. I also want Takeshita and Tsuji as a feud. I think that's a huge feud post Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Title. I want Tsuji to lose.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be interesting if Tsuji wins this match against Gabe. Would Gabe move into the main event title picture for them against Takeshita? Gabe has that also relationship with AEW where you can continue that storyline on American television. But I think the route to go is Takeshita wins, and I think he could just lose after the whole Okada feud over. He beats Okada, as he said, twice maybe in the span of 4 to 5 months. Maybe that's when you take the belt off of him after he's worked so hard to beat Okada. Then, Tsuji's right up next, and then you can move over to a full-time New Japan guy back as the champion. But these 2 matches at the end of the show, I've seen Gabe and Tsuji a billion times. It always delivers. I'm very excited for this match, and I hope it's probably going to go 40 minutes, I would think.
They got the 60-minute time limit, so they've got an hour to figure it out. Yeah.
They got time for sure. But yeah, I think Zack has been a real trooper for them this year. He had to take a lot of flack for that Wrestle Kingdom main event. No one was really talking about his match with Ricochet at Wrestle Dynasty, which I thought was a good match, but not a lot of people. Again, that was a really good match. Didn't really feel like a main event because the story just was not there at all for that. It was just a match that happened. And loses to Goto, which hindsight probably was the right decision. His reign was just, leaking out at that point. But then he took it over, had some good matches along the way. Red Narita most recently for the title. But I think this is the right time. Drop it. Let Zack get out of the main event title picture just for the time being. Maybe he goes into World Tag League for TMDK this year, which is good. You want to add as many stars to these tag leagues as possible.
Yeah.
And New Japan does back-to-back. We go from junior tag league to just heavyweight tag league. So junior tag league is October 23rd to November 1st. And then regular World Tag League is November 20th to December 14th. And then then we get Wrestle Kingdom. Now there's in between shows there. There's Taiji Ishimori show, there's New Japan Road. So there's still in between shows for the companies, but I think Zack being in World Tag League is good. Maybe with Hartley Jackson, which I would like. So I'm here for Takeshita. I'm here for Gabe. I'm not here for Evil. Because do you think Evil's winning? Be honest, Blackhawk. You like Bolton Oleg a lot.
I want Bolton Oleg to walk out of there with the belt. I just feel like the way they've been pushing Evil and House of Torture right now, it would be dumb of me to say that Evil doesn't walk out with the championship.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think Evil's gonna win. Yuta Weiss and Oscar, I don't think they're losing. I don't think Sari is losing. Yeah. I don't think ELP is like. Do you think Tanahashi needs like a title right now at this point?
No, but it's interesting because I don't want Tanahashi to lose. I like ELP, but I also want Tanahashi to continue winning on his road to retirement. Just because I think he deserves it. Sure. But also I don't think he needs a title for the road to retirement. Yeah. Unless it just leads up to his final match at Wrestle Kingdom is a title match, which would be fun. But I don't think it's not necessary. I think everything's going really well for him already. There's no need to add a title into the mix.
Yeah, it just feels unnecessary to have him. Yeah. Now the TV title, he won that at Wrestle Kingdom, not this year, but last year. And he beat Sabre. I just don't think TV title is the right title for him because it's a 15-minute time limit. You're not really asking him to wrestle then basically 10 minutes. But I think at this point, it's fine if he beats people non-title. If people want to put him over, that's one thing. I think for the title, I just let ELP ride with the title at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
If Tanahashi, because if it's his last Wrestle Kingdom and he's champion, he's obviously going to lose the match. And you want to walk into Wrestle Kingdom more excited about the match more than, well, it's a title match. We know he's going to lose because he's the champion. So that's how I feel about Hiroshi. But we just talked about it. Tanahashi and Hiromu are both wrestling on these two shows this weekend, which is very fun. I think it's great. You have Takeshita wrestling on Dynamite, then flying to Japan on Monday. I watch him be on Dynamite on Wednesday or something after. And if I'm AEW, I think the problem for AEW is they do not he won the G1 big tournament, like the most famous tournament. I don't know if AEW now, because they have their own tournament, want to glorify the G1 anymore, but they just have not promoted enough that Takeshita is a G1 winner this year. And they talk about it in the matches, but the ring announcers don't say, here is the G1 Climax winner or anything. I think they should be doing that. But I'll tell you what, it would be nice. You really can't promote it if he comes around with that world title on American television on a consistent basis. And again, the Don Callis family are champions at this point with Okada and Fletcher. And Takeshita and Okada has continued. It has not been stale, this build.
No.
Feud. And I know we're assuming Takeshita's winning. I would be utterly shocked if Zach's winning this match. But two big shows. Wrestled. We have Crown Jewel as well this weekend. Tons of wrestling, all in the wee hours of the morning. 1 a.m.
None shows, of it a regular time.
Midnight shows, because we are in Australia and Japan this weekend, so we are nowhere near the state. Literally, couldn't be further away from the United States of America this weekend if you're a pro wrestling fan. But we don't have Stardom or Marigold to talk about this week. We'll move on next week to talk about. We're gonna focus up a lot more as well on the women's side. Next week we'll make a plan out to make sure we cover some more Stardom and Marigold, but we wanted to focus this week on New Japan and Noah because they have very important shows this weekend with major implications for both companies. So we wanted to really focus on these two shows. So next week here on Tour of Japan, we will break down these two shows. We'll preview any upcoming shows, any big wrestling news. We didn't really I'll tell you what, I know SmackDown's about to start. And it is a spoiler because, technically SmackDown's already on if you have Netflix. Yeah,
it's already happened.
But it's going to go live on the USA Network. Tama Tonga is doing his New Japan character on a WWE team.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw that this morning, Blackhawk?
Honestly, I got very excited when I saw that. I thought that their whole side of the bloodline was getting stale.
Really stale.
And it's just what are they going to keep doing? What are they going to do now? At that point. And then I saw this morning that they all came out with face paint outside of Solo. And I was like, oh, they're turning them back into like savages. They're bringing that back out, and
Rose
I'm
of
like,
Destiny.
okay, I'm very excited about this now, because like before they were just kind of like a goofball organization that had some like demons in the back.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of letting that demon show. And so
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of WWE recently. But if this goes the way I think it'll go, which is them just being, just absolutely destroying everything,
Yeah.
I might start tuning back in for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blackhawk. Really?
Might turn me around.
That's a lot coming from you. So
Yeah, it might turn me around. I'll just have to see how it goes.
I
I don't
think
even
it's
know
great.
I don't know what the card is for tomorrow. But if
I'll
they're involved, it'll be
I can give my little predictions because I'll be doing the
yeah. Go ahead and give your predictions.
I'll be doing the post show with Rami tomorrow here on
Rami.
Bodyslam. We already have it set up, so we're gonna be set for tomorrow. So Crown Jewel starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. So I am waking up early, baby, early to break down the show. So it is in Perth. Is it Perth? Yeah, Perth. That's what.
Yes.
Perth, Australia. Cody and Seth for the Crown Jewel title. I think Seth is going to win because Seth has not beat Cody. And that is the whole story of this feud. And I don't think they're done with the vision anytime soon. They kind of hinted on Raw, if Seth loses, people are going to lose trust in him. I just don't think Seth is going to lose this match. Cody does not need to beat Seth for the 4th consecutive time since he's been back. I just don't think it's necessary. Cody and Orton is the next thing, I think, for Cody. And I don't know what they're going to do with Seth in the main. Probably Punk once they move on. Stephanie and Tiffany. Stephanie, I think, is going to win. And I'm just saying that because I really don't like the SmackDown women's division. And I think Tiffany has not been booked right. And even with that, she can put over Stephanie at this point. I think they're really trying to put Stephanie on that level with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. They want her on that level. Talk about Rhea Ripley. Rhea and Io are going to beat the Kabuki Warriors. I wish the Kabuki Warriors were going to get the win here, but I think Rhea will get the hometown pin and get the win on Kairi Sane. I still think the overarching feud is Io and Asuka. And I think Rhea can move on to either probably the world title after this match. But I think the interesting story here is Io and Asuka. So I think both of them won't be involved in the pin. It'll be Rhea pinning Kairi. Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Now, here's what's interesting. This is being promoted as the main event of the show, which is shocking that it is the main event of this show because you have Cody and Seth on this show for the Crown Jewel title. And it's an Australian street fight. Bronson Reed has to win this match. I think Bronson Reed will win this match because Braun Breaker's not on this card. And I think we're going to get shenanigans, I think, in the Seth match. And we're going to get shenanigans in the Bronson Reed-Roman Reigns match. Now, I also think they're setting up the fact where the Usos and Roman, Jay is kind of listening to Roman. Jimmy's not. So I think some way we're going to see, I think they might do like a Roman Reigns, Jay Uso feud. Now, I don't want this at all. I am done with the bloodline. It's so overacted. It feels like a melodrama soap opera at this point. I love Bronson Reed. The good news is they continue to give Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker tag team victories, which is really good. So I think Bronson needs to win this match. And if it's the Usos that cost Roman, that can move on to the feud. I'm afraid if Bronson just wins, they have to do this again for a third match. And what can you do in WWE? What can you do bigger than you know what? That's what they'll do. Bronson will win, but they're gonna do like a steel cage match or something. So no interference from the Vision, no Usos or whatever. But I think they're setting up War Games at this point, which is very soon. But I think Bronson needs a win. It's his home country. He'll feel like a really big deal if he beats Roman Reigns in his home country with a huge pop. And I think that's important. And then John Cena, AJ Styles. Like, I don't know who you're supposed to pick here. This match has had literally no story. Cena has not been on TV for this entire feud, if you want to call it that. AJ has it in the news. We talked about this on our podcast last week. A lot of people have been asking about AJ maybe coming back to Japan, but he's retiring next year. He announced that even today on the press conference for the show. So I think he's going to be done when WWE contract is up. I do not think he's going to do a TNA contract. I don't think he's going to do a New Japan contract. I think this is the hurrah for him. So I assume this card is not intriguing you, Blackhawk, to get up early and watch the show.
Yeah.
This is a show. I think Seth and Cody should be the best match on this show. Probably will be, because I've loved all of their 3 matches in the last 4 years. Seth winning is the most interesting thing. You have the most interesting story in the company is this Asuka Io thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm just shocked they're going with Roman and Bronson. If they're going with Roman and Bronson, it really does feel like a major thing is going down. Couldn't tell you what that is other than a Bronson win. Maybe that's what they want to end on, is making Bronson feel like a top guy. What are your thoughts? Do you have any quick thoughts before we wrap up Tour of Japan here for Crown Jewel here?
Yeah, I'm not sold on the card.
Yeah, I get it.
I have a feeling that like if they've got Roman and Bronson going at the end, something crazy has to happen. If not, it definitely should have been Cody Seth. I do agree with you that Seth should get this win. It's like WWE's gotten to the point now that I forget that Cody's champion.
Oh God,
and
I know too, man. I know, man.
And it's just like
I forget who.
Yeah, and so it's just like I don't know. They just haven't booked anything enticing to me recently. The Kabuki Warriors and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley is interesting to me. I might just watch that match by itself.
Yeah.
But the whole show itself just is kind of, it feels like a show that they booked 1,000 times. Even though these are like, some of these are new matches, it just feels like we're recycling similar things with different people.
We are, for sure. I think you're not wrong. Crown Jewel is always a weird pay-per-view now because it takes away from like title matches, because when you do Crown Jewel, that means there's no world title picture for either brand, for men or the women. And Becky's feuding with Maxine, but that's not like a pay-per-view match. That's a Raw feud. Julia is now is like feuding with Tiffany and Stephanie. That was like a weird segment to do last week, and I don't think they for sure followed up this week. SmackDown was interesting today. Zelina joining Aleister Black.
Cool. I did see that. Yeah, that's cool.
Kimura, old music, even cooler.
Yeah.
And Tama Tonga and Tongaloa doing Gorillas of Destiny in WWE. That's what we asked for. WWE, whenever they get these Japanese wrestlers from New Japan, they're like, remember them in New Japan? We're doing something totally different. Still kind of references it, but to like, Bullet Club, but we're the club. We're the club.
Yeah. Yeah. We're the club of shells.
Yeah, and AJ and Finn are good friends. How are they good friends? If you watch New Japan, you know why they're good friends. I think they should embrace. Sometimes guys stuff in other companies, like no shame. You can do it. Look at Aleister Black. He brought back the mask from AEW. Cool. Like, it's not offensive or anything like that.
Like, it's things that worked. Like, they've proven that they've worked. Like, I don't see the reason to like go so far away from them, but like leave a sprinkle of it in.
I completely
agree. It's like they get these guys that are really good at what they do and then tell them they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm very excited am I excited? I'll break down my stuff in a second, but that I think does it here for our 4th episode of Tour of Japan. So Blackhawk, as wrapping things up, where can people find you on social media, and what can they find you doing on bodyslam.net?
Find me anywhere at Blackhawk Walker, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. All of them at Blue Sky. I don't remember my login for Blue Sky. But yeah, you can find me anywhere there. Hit me up, ask me questions. You know, I'm always happy to try to find answers for things, even if I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, I've paid attention to the Bodyslam pages. I've been posting the live stream clips. We'll post some of these tomorrow. For those of you who are watching, they'll be on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. So
you do a great job putting out clips on all of our podcasts and shows. So really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I'm to break down my stuff really quickly here. You can find me at Dinenberg Max on Twitter, at Max Dinenberg on Instagram. If you have any questions or want to talk to me at all about pro wrestling, you can find me there. For Bodyslam.net, I do highs and lows every single night. I'm not doing it for Smackdown tonight. I got to try to get. I saw what happened earlier today, but I didn't have enough time to post it really quickly. So I just wanted to. I have to go to sleep a bit earlier tonight because I am waking up, watching Crown Jewel live, following Crown Jewel. Me and Rami, as always, we are back. The dynamic duo of Rami and I are back with the post show for Crown Jewel. We'll break down all what happens, gives our thoughts on all the matches. And then the next weekend is also Wrestle Dream. So I'll be back with someone doing the post show for that as well. I do all the post shows for AEW and for WWE pay-per-views. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on those. And then every single Friday, guys, here at 7 o'clock Eastern time, every Friday, it's Blackhawk and myself talking all things Japanese pro wrestling. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's truly been an honor that we're already a month in. We have a lot of commenters every week. We really do appreciate the fact that you guys are even tagging us on Twitter about wanting to hear our thoughts on Japanese wrestling. It's already a cool accomplishment for us that people already want us feel like we're good people to talk to in Japanese pro wrestling. It's a very small niche space, and we appreciate everyone thinking that we belong in that space. So thanks everyone so much. We'll be back October 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Tour of Japan. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh,